All right, welcome to Bad Idea Metals. I'm Anthony, and I'm losing my voice, so please bear with me. We're gonna tear some stuff apart today. I've received a few really random stuff, a few really random things in the last few months, and it's just been sitting in storage waiting for me to finish this greenhouse. So I am in shorts. It is snowing and raining today, but yet I'm in shorts because it's 72 degrees Fahrenheit in here. Okay, so what do we have? We have, I don't even know what this exactly is, but it's got all sorts of fun buttons and knobs. This looks like this may have been part of a education setup. It's got these nice big rubber feet. They are welded on. Let's go ahead and get in. Well, talk about simple. There's not much to these. So first off, what do I see? You know what? I can't even begin to explain what most of this stuff does. One, I'm losing my voice too fast, and two, I'm not educated into what these are. But I am going to take them out, and I'll show you what I see. So there's our display. It's a little analog, actually maybe digital, I'm not sure, but you've got a ceramic IC, and you've got your display. You've got little gold. They're pretty thick, but you got gold leads right here. Next, we have our buttons. The buttons from the front. They have gold leads right here, gold trace. We've got ourselves some capacitors, it appears. Got a bunch of resistors. We got the silver style connectors here. Same thing. It's almost in it appears to be a identical board to the first one that was next to it. But that's pretty much it on this front panel. You've got these receiving sockets. And then finally back here, oh, it is screwed on. Looks like it's accessible from underneath. Yep. So there's one more board back here. It looks like I can unscrew from the bottom here. Feels like it should be off. Okay. There we go. Now this one has a bunch of capacitors, some MOSFETs, and some gold. Nice. We're not going to worry about the transformer at the moment, only because that's pretty standard. some red plastic. All in all, it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting find. The frame, I believe, is aluminum. And it's just a pretty fun looking little device that I believe was used for education of engineering students. So we'll go ahead and set this one off to the side, and I'll start getting into one of the other videos here. Welcome to Bad Idea Metals. I'm Anthony, and this is part 2 of my recording videos while I'm sick. No, just kidding. I have torn apart an engineering piece. This is number 2. This is a computer of sorts. You can see there's an optical drive, a screen, and some peripherals You've got what looks like a SCSI card right here. This is a parallel, probably for a printer. Here's a, it almost looks like a PS2, so, or an S-Video. No, this is your S-Video. That looks like, who knows what, some sort of a port. I don't see any interface for a keyboard. It could have gone in here. I don't know, but this looks old enough. If that's a SCSI, oh, it is. It says SCSI right on it. But if this is SCSI, a VGA, and a parallel and a serial port card, this probably is older than a Pentium 4. I don't have very much. There's a worm. I don't have very much about it. Most of the information about it has worn off. I don't have serial numbers or part numbers or anything. But interesting features about it. Before, somebody seems to have taken a sledgehammer to it, which wasn't me. It looks like there's an ability for the monitor to adjust. Anyway, so maybe this was the first portable computer. No, I'm just kidding. Laptops should predate this just barely. But a portable desktop with a handle. Huh. I just realized that this is a LCD. It's not, it doesn't have a cathode ray tube on it, so it's not a CRT. So yeah, this is about the same age as a laptop. Well, one of our first laptops probably. But I'm gonna do my best to get inside of this machine. Most of the screws are already removed, I guess. Oh, I don't know what it's gonna take to get in. So we're gonna see what's in here. I have never been inside this machine. I'm curious what's in here. Let's see if we can get these off. Okay, they're not rusted in place and they're not stripped. That's good. What is that? That was the magic, okay. All right, well, what do we see? We see a mess. There's a fan. Here seems to be a two-part motherboard. This looks to be the RAM, maybe the CPU back here in the corner. You got your, you got all your expansions coming off of that side though. So it looks like the motherboard is this top one, and then the expansion boards are a daughter card off the side. Let's see what we can do to get these out. We better into frame there. So just by the look of this, this is definitely older than DDR2. It could be PC 100 or PC 66 or something like that. It's definitely on there real good. Okay. It's PC 100. So this is older than DDR. 256 megabytes. Woo woo! Some old stuff right there. You get the ribbons off, and the cards may just come out. Hey, look at that. Okay, what do we have? Well, here's our CPU. Huh. So this is the motherboard. Just looking down to verify that there isn't something else that I'm expecting. Nope. So this is indeed our motherboard. And on this motherboard, it has an integrated video and network. So the integrated video and network, one looks like a communications port or 9-pin serial. Some nice gold fingers on it, and it looks like PCI, and this looks like AGP. Let's go ahead and see what kind of CPU is hiding underneath our heatsink right here. Oh, it's a Pentium 3. Okay, so we got ourselves a Pentium 3. These guys are not too bad, actually. Nice pins on there. Let's set it back in there for the safety of the CPU for a moment. Ooh, 850 megahertz. Woo-wee. Man, that's old. Does it have a year on it? Sometimes they do. 2000. So that means this machine is at least newer than the year 2000. Okay, we'll set our heatsink off to the side. We'll set this motherboard off to the side. All right, so here's our SCSI card. It's PCI. Another PCI card. This one is, it looks probably like a printer port here. We'll have to see what the other one was. Guess there's no other cards in here. Oh, I have to correct something. I called these like AGP or something. These are ISA. These are ISA card slot pins. PCI and ISA. Let's see what we can do to get some of this stuff out. And it's still integrated into everything. So this ribbon that I keep fighting up here at the top, that is the communication ribbon over to our display. So the monitor on the front. Got a whole bunch of other wires heading that direction. Let's pull those out so that they're not getting in the way. See if we can get those powers to let go. All right. So we've got our power supply. All right, let's take a closer look at that board. It really is just a daughter card. It takes the motherboard and then it can distribute out to other peripheral devices. So it's just a daughter card. It's a PCI daughter card. That's pretty cool. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get the monitor off, but to be totally honest, I'm not too excited by monitors. They're just usually a pain in the neck. But here's all those ribbons that come through on the other side. You know, I'm not gonna get into the monitor today. Sorry. I've got one more device I'd like to tear apart as part of this 3-part series. So I'm gonna jump into that real quick. But yeah, let's take a look at what we've got. Welcome to Bad Idea Metals. I am Anthony, and this is part 3 of my teardown today. So I'm not exactly sure what all of this is, but this Panasonic unit on top is a capture station. It's an image and video capture station. You plug in cameras and you can do different things with it, and it's usually sold by itself. I had to look it up before the video. I had no idea what I was looking at. It almost looks like something on an aircraft. It's got a nice aluminum frame. I wouldn't be surprised if this was part of something bigger. But this whole thing, it's got a monitor to be able to see what you're doing up here and what you're editing or capturing or whatever. But you got zoom and focus, you've got different preset buttons, but it's modern enough that it's got an SD card slot. But it also looks old-fashioned enough, like it came out of something like an aircraft or a spacecraft or something. So, I have an agreement with who gave this to me that this has to be destroyed. I know that this control panel up here currently there's somebody trying to sell one just like it on the internet for about $3,000 used. So there's value in this. I know. I have an agreement. I have to destroy it. Or I have to give it back. But let's take a quick look around. We've got our monitor. We've got some interfaces for, I'm not exactly sure what this does. And then we've got this interface up here. This is actually pretty heavy. I expect there's going to be a lot of copper in the bottom. But on this top panel, we've got a number of connectors. We've got a nice power supply hooked in with different types of power and external connectors. And then down here, we've got DC power. Wow, so this runs DC power. Where did I see an AC? Maybe this this is AC, and then it runs an adapter. Maybe because even this this top device up here, it says DC in. So this is run off of DC current. Here's our 15 volt DC in. So yeah, there you go. We've got a strictly direct current. So I don't know how much copper we're actually going to find in here, because they're the transformers that have all the copper windings are to transform AC current into other voltages. So right off, I can see within all of these different receiving connectors, they're gold plated pin sockets. So that's pretty cool. Let's start tearing this apart. There's our second piece. Now, most of this stuff should be pretty free from each other. And there it is. Let's go ahead and start with this little panel. We've got what looks like 2 aluminum boxes that go down here. I'm not exactly sure again what those are for, so let's take those off of the rails that are on it. All right, so we got a collection of screws for me here. All right, it looks like all the rest of this is Phillips. So let's see. None on the front, but there are 3 on the top and a number of them on the back. So let's, I guess, start on the back. Not too fancy. We got a bridge connector between this board and the board below it. Pretty empty board. And there are 3 more screws. 4 more, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more screws. All right. Let's start with the little one. It's not going to want to come out because these finger toggles are on here. Okay, it's going to be a sign of more to come too, because as long as these dials are on here, this board's not going to want to come off either. So don't want to be too disruptive to this, but I want to get this off. So, hey, I did promise that this would be destroyed. Okay, so this is to those unfortunate toggles right there. Joysticks. They call them joysticks. Okay, there you go. Who's next? Wasn't expecting to have to wear my goggles today. All right, whatever. Whatever. All right, so the box is almost empty. We've got this little card in here. But there's our buttons and our toggles, our dials. There's really not too much to these boards. Makes you wonder where the brains are. Probably this one. Got a display, some LEDs for status indicators, gold-plated pins. And there's nothing too exciting about this board, but I don't know, looks cool. We got all this mess growing on this table here. Okay, let's see what's inside one of these boxes. You see a few IC chips that are removable, some MOSFETs. Just in general, there's not a whole lot here. They're not identical, so let's go ahead and open this one, just so we can see what's inside. I would expect it to look very similar. Very similar. MOSFETs, ICs, wires, connectors. Different setup, but very similar. Pretty cool. All right, let me move things off to the side, and then we're gonna try and get inside that thing. So we have a few choices. You can try to take the back panel off or the top panel. Let's try for the top panel. Feels like steel. All right. There was a hard drive here. It's a SATA drive. So this is a SATA drive mount, and here's your SATA cable for inside the system and your power cord. So that means there's a computer down here. Wow. All right, so there's our card. I have no idea what this is. All I know is that there's gold plating all over it. These little sockets are gold. Socket, whatever you call it, the sublimated holes. There's a little gold pad right here. It's got the PCI, it's got gold on the PCI fingers. It's got two gold corner BGAs, one underneath this heatsink. This is just a normal die. But yeah, there you go. That's what's been hiding in here. Set that off to the side. This is in the standard slot for a video. It looks like it has the kick out ejector for video cards. I've seen these before. They're just pass-throughs. So if you don't have room on your motherboard for the PCI card, you just put this wherever you need, and then it redirects a PCI card for you. It's really cool. I might actually save this. today. So we're gonna take my glove. You can see I've done this before. We're gonna wipe off that thermal paste. It is a 6700 Core 2 Duo. Oh, come on. So I wasn't too far off when I said it was a 6600. This is a 6700. Not too bad. There's no real market value for these anymore. But that's pretty much it. Power supply. This is indeed the power supply. The power must come off the back because then it goes right onto the motherboard here, and it supplies that power from this ribbon to that connector for the CPU. So this is the 12 volt CPU cable. Other things that I've cut. But yeah, there you go. It's a pretty standard motherboard. You'd find this in a desktop. In fact, it says it's an Intel desktop board. So there you go. I'll give you a quick tour of what we took out. But not too fancy, to be honest. Well, this wraps up our collection of 3 videos here. As I'm recovering from a cold, I do have some fun stuff that I want to do. It's mid-January. Our anniversary, our 3-year anniversary is April 10th. I am trying to get a sponsor for something special, but I don't see myself having everything I need ready for that. So that might be a good summer. Oh, I can't even talk. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.